Hello and welcome to Tarotzahara. We are going to be starting on the major arcanas today. So if you're ready with your notebook and your pen, let's get started. Okay, we're starting with the Fool. See him? He's got his little white dog. Or does this one have a little white dog? Sorry, blind woman. His dog isn't white in this one. But he's got his little dog. He's got his little pack that he's taking off with. He's got his white tunic closest to his skin, or the white cowl closest to his skin, and the red tunic. And he's about to walk off the cliff. He is so busy fixating on what's above and fixating on his faith that he has no idea he's about to step off the cliff. And you know what? He's not going to fall. That's the Fool. Okay, so the Fool is card number 0. Numerical value of 1. He is the first, and so hence the 1. He rules the head. And his planetary associations are Uranus and Mars. The astrological sign would be Aries. So, generally speaking, the word fool is used to describe someone who is stupid. And well, it's not very bright to be about to step off a cliff. The Fool isn't stupid. He's led by faith, not intellect. And he's about to embark on a journey. It's sort of like in the old fairy tales, where the character would, seek his, leave the family homestead to seek his fortune in the world. That's the Fool's journey. The whole tarot deck and every character in it is about the Fool's journey. So the Fool is a very central character, and, this is what the whole thing is about. This is why when you do when you lay out the majors, you put the Fool on top, and then you do 3 rows of 7 across. Okay, so our Fool is embarking on a journey into the unknown, with his eyes sharply focused on the goal, that being the divine. Call that the divine, call that heaven, call that God, call that whatever you need to call that. He doesn't fear his step off the edge because of his faith. The Fool is ultimately guided by the wisdom of his search. So prophetically, it would be about wildness and intoxication and newness and unexpected influences. Certainly youth falls under the category of the Fool, and sex. But the kind of sex, now I'm not going to get all pervy here, I promise, but the first 2 cards, the first 2 majors are all about sex, so you're going to have to just deal with me. This is the kind of sex where the person says, I don't even know what happened. We were talking, and next thing you know, there we were. It's that kind of sex. It's unexpected. It's not something that's been planned, or at least not by both parties. And so there's an element of unexpectedness. There is an element of folly, certainly, in the Fool, but that's not generally what it means. It's generally about travel. It's about starting something new. It's about children. And it's about sex. So he is generally considered a maverick. Okay, but that's right side up. That's if he lands in his full dignified position. If he's ill-dignified, reversed, then he goes the opposite direction. He's short-sighted. He's foolish. He's vain. He's a game player. He's childish. Yeah, I mean, like right side up, it's more like the kind of person who, hopefully, like myself, hopefully, who has maintained some level of their childlike enthusiasm, but isn't immature. Reverse fool is definitely immature. He could be about substance abuse, or really, when you're talking about sex, it would be sex that isn't actually consummated. It would be no sex is going to happen. No sex is forthcoming. So we're gonna cover this stuff later in sample spreads, etc., etc. So I'm just going to sort of just give you a quick rundown on each one, and we're going to keep going back over them as we go. So that is your Fool. The second card, card number 1, numerical value of 2, is the Magician. The Magician, as you can see, both the Fool and the Magician have the white tunic, the white cowl closest to their skin, and then a red tunic on the outside. The white, when you put white closest to the skin, that implies purity. And the red implies action, doing stuff. The Magician is traditionally depicted as having his wand pointing up to the heavens and his fingers pointing down to the earth, the old as above, so below, which, you know, is a pretty regular metaphysical thing. This particular Magician does not show it very well, but generally speaking, he has a table in front of him, and he has the 4 elements represented. That would be earth, air, fire, and water. So, the Magician, he is ruled by Mercury and Mars. His astrological signs would be Scorpio or Aries. Physical location would be the reproductive organs, the head, or the head. There. The Magician is primarily one who makes things manifest. He's the doer of deeds. He's the one that gets stuff done. He's the first character that the Fool stumbles into on his journey. The Magician is a thinker. If you're gonna, and I'm not gonna get into the whole magic thing because that's just, we're not going there. But if you're gonna do magic, you gotta think the thing through. You can't just go, oh, I'm gonna say hocus pocus and this is gonna work. You have to collect your supplies. Well, first you have to figure out what exactly it is that you want and make sure there's no way it's gonna backfire on you. Then you've got to collect your supplies, and then you've got to set your supplies out, etc., etc., etc. So that's kind of the Magician. He's a planner, he's a doer, and he is certainly is a thinker. Therefore, okay, we already did that. Okay, whether he works black or white magic depends on the cards around him, and it depends on whether he comes up right side up or reversed. Certainly right side up, he's doing things, and they are perhaps not above board, but they are good things that he is doing. He certainly has connotations to power and desire and the actual act of sex. This sex, unlike the Fool sex, is, they've met, they've talked, they've texted, they have gone through all the stuff. Now they're going out on a date. He's whining her and dining her or him. And this is intentional sex. This isn't, oops, I slipped and screwed. This is something that was planned out, and, you know, all the stuff that goes with that. But basically, this card harnesses and directs energy and force. So prophetically, it would be a powerful person, certainly. One who takes the initiative, a person who gets things done, skill, control, mastery, cunning, transformation. This would be the magician right side up. When you reverse him, again, and not all cards, some cards when you reverse them go opposite, some get stronger, some get weaker. This one goes opposite. When it's reversed, he's like tricky, he's sneaky, he's underhanded, his behavior and his intentions are not above board. He is very usually ineffective. It could be illness because he can't get up and get anything done, right? It could be negligence or being unobservant, anything like that, sloppiness, all the sort of uncontrolled stuff that is the reverse of the controlled stuff of the magician right side up. Okay. The Priestess. She's my card. I like her. The Priestess is card number 2, numerical value of 3. And the Priestess is depicted with cloaks. Cloaks always imply in tarot that there's something underneath that's being concealed. And she does conceal. She generally, you know, I shouldn't have used this deck. We'll use a different one next time. But she generally has a Torah that's sort of halfway concealed in her cloak. So you can see it sticking out, but it's somewhat concealed because she does not necessarily tell what she knows. She is the mate to the Hierophant, the natural mate to the Hierophant. She is ruled by the moon and Neptune. She rules the feet and the lap. She is astrological signs, any of the water signs. See how you have to know the astrology? The water signs are Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, yes. So she represents the institution of secret wisdom. She rules certainly secrets, absolutely secrets, and esoteric knowledge and psychicism. She is very, very feminine. This is a very feminine card, just like the Magician is an extremely masculine card. The Priestess is extremely feminine. Okay? She usually symbolizes a water sign woman, but she could also come up to kind of show, to show secrets, or someone who's being secretive, or someone who's beautiful, because she is potential unfulfilled. Her potential has not been fulfilled. Therefore, she is considered a virgin. And but she can come up in a romantic spread as sort of the best you can get. Like, everybody knows, like, who's in, you know who's in your league and who's not in your league, right? I mean, you know, if some, I don't know, Channing Tatum comes up and asks me out, I'm not going to say yes, because there's no way that's going to happen. And I'm going to fall for him, and he's not going to fall for me. And I don't need the headache, right? But so you do have that sort of level that is right. You know, there's kind of a range of the people that are right for you. These are not. Everything in here is. And so she is pretty much the highest manifestation of what a person can realistically expect to find in a mate. Let's see. She is certainly psychic. She is certainly wise. She holds the key to the secrets that the fool wants to learn. And so, but she's not gonna tell him. She may tell him some, but she's not gonna tell him everything because that's just not her nature. That's not the way she operates. She does certainly rule the subconscious, the unconscious, and dreams. And that's when she's right side up. When she is ill-dignified or reversed, she is just the opposite. She would be shallow wisdom. Like these people, oh my God, they drive me crazy. These people that'll go, well, you know, a butterfly landed on a deck chair at a restaurant 2 tables away while I was eating today. And the last time that happened, I won the lottery for $5,000. And so I must be ready to win the lottery again because a butterfly landed on a deck chair. Like, people drawing erroneous conclusions, thinking everything's a sign that's not a sign, you know? And people just sort of taking off on in some wrong direction based on either incomplete knowledge, which is almost always the case with the priestess, or just the person just not being educated or intelligent or any of the things that the priestess would be. I mean, she's not necessarily educated, but she's smart. So you got to figure she figured stuff out from somewhere. Somebody taught her something. And so she can certainly come up as deceit and lies. And this is really critical. Tarot has a million different ways of showing you untruth, whether it's direct, specific, intentional lies, whether it's withheld truth, whether it's information that you just you don't know is there to get. There's a whole bunch of different ways that tarot can show you not true, untrue, lie, deceit, etc. And certainly a reverse priestess would fall under the category of deceit and lies. And they're generally manifest in a specific person, not a situation. Some of these, sometimes, like the magician and the priestess both, like they're people. They have their things that they do. They have areas that they rule, but they're people. Other cards, even like the Fool, right? The Fool can very often be a situation, not a person. That's not usually the case with the priestess or really the magician. They are usually someone, and it's indicating what kind of a person they are and what you can expect from these people. Okay, so that is your priestess. And now the Empress. And again, I will use a different deck next time. The Empress is potential fulfilled, just like the priestess is potential unfulfilled, right? The Empress is card number 3, numerical value of 4. She is ruled by Venus and the moon. Her astrological signs would be Cancer and Taurus. Okay. The Empress is Mother Earth. She is depicted, and of course, because I grabbed the wrong deck, she is considered pregnant, chunky, chubby, potential fulfilled. She is the mother in the deck. So if you're, when the Empress comes up, it could be about a mother, it could be about a pregnancy, pregnancy certainly shows as the Empress. She is Mother Earth in her pregnant state. She represents ripening and the action that creates. She is strongly connected to the earth and all things that grow. So gardens very often will show as the Empress. And like I said, she is potential fulfilled. She, you know, just like the priestess is a virgin, the Empress is not. She is pregnant. We're not going there. Okay. And so verbal communication, because of the Virgo aspects there, and physical growth. And she does bear a certain amount of authority, although it's a certain amount. It's not full blown like in the Emperor, because the whole nature of tarot is a little bit misogynistic. So we're just going to like skip past that, because these things were invented long before the word misogynist was. So prophetically, she would certainly be pregnancy, fertility, if you're looking for, you know, fertile times in the month. Growth, love, action. If it comes up surrounding a marriage, it would be a marriage that does bear children. Motherhood and the truth, because the Empress, she's not hiding anything. She's not like the priestess. She's not hiding anything. She will tell you the truth straight up to your face. And then when you reverse her, it's anything that is barren, anything that nothing will grow in. It will be stunted growth. It would be sometimes when there's like a halt in action. Let's say you're on a diet and, you know, you've been losing all this weight and then you just kind of plateau. That's the halted action of the diet. It's temporarily just kind of plateauing, and then later it's going to drop down again, assuming you stay on the diet. Yes, stunted growth, temporarily halted action, lack of initiative falls under the category of the Empress. Because if anybody has ever lived with a mother, they know that mothers are moving 24/7, especially with very young kids in the house. There's nothing but initiative there with mothers, unless they're like, I don't know, crackheads or something. But so it would be lack of initiative, or it would be a marriage that does not bear children, that does not, you know, produce children, or it could be ignorance. Or ignorance. I'm just going to leave it at ignorance, because the reversed Empress is not necessarily a liar. She's more like someone who does not have all the information at her disposal. So, you know, which is very distinctly different than a lie or deceit or something. I'm going to leave it with these 4 for today. We will pick up next time. And in the meantime, don't forget to do your 3 spreads a day, every day. Pull your 24-hour spread, journal it. Even though you won't understand any of the cards except for these 4 so far, keep doing it. And you'll see the more you do it, the more it sort of starts making sense. And in the meantime, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much.